Hello YouTube, Komodo Gaming here, playing some more Scrap Mechanic. The Weld tool has finally been released. I've been waiting for this thing for a long time. This is probably my most anticipated tool besides the paint tool. So, really happy about that. It took a little longer than I expected, but I'm just glad it's here, honestly. Today I built some pretty cool stuff. I've got this whole garage in here. I've got this half a truck, and we're actually going to use this as an example here in a minute. I've got a suspension that I want to put together, and it's going to need the Weld tool. One thing I have done, I was really bored today, and I created some pixel art, so I thought you guys might enjoy that, just kind of in the background. I might actually cut that down here in a second and use the Weld tool to put it back up. Let's see. In here, there's nothing much to really talk about in here. It's just a little lobby area. You can watch your car being worked on. It's just really neat. I had a lot of time today, so I thought I'd create this. Now, one thing I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and try this Weld tool out. I'm going to cut this down. If you ever have creations that you cut in half or something falls off, something like really important that you want to stick back on, it's always been impossible in Scrap Mechanic, but now, in theory, you should be able to just weld it back on, and that's fantastic. I've been waiting for that. I can't tell you how many builds I've had where I've like cut it in half or cut like a really important part off. But now, in theory, you should be able to put it on. I'm still kind of curious how it works, like when you cut something in half, how it matches the parts back together. I'm not really sure, but I think we're going to figure all that out today. Like I said, I'm going to do the suspension that I've wanted to do for a long time. It's nothing overly complicated. It's just something that's been impossible to do. I think I talked about it a little bit when I did the half-ton truck. So I'll probably put a little video of that where you can see what I was talking about. But yeah, I think we are ready to put this together. Alright, you see me use the 3 suspension design a lot. I love it. It supports a lot of weight, but the problem is that you have to put 2 blocks below it, at least in the previous build. But now with the welding tool, you should be able to just put the suspension pieces down and then put either a block or a pipe piece, something that connects on the bottom, and you should be able to weld it across, and it should work. Now, how I used to do it, let me go ahead and put that together. You would go, say, 2 blocks down and 1 on each side, and then you would have to either attach a pipe piece or a block piece to the bottom of the other suspension pieces, and it should compress. Now, if you don't do that, the suspension pieces will just go through the ground or go through the tire. But let me take it off the lift here, and you can see how it works. There we go. See it compress? This is okay, but the whole fact that if you want to save some room, and just the whole fact that it's a hassle, like you should just be able to leave that block there. Let me grab this curved piece. So grab that, put it on each side, and boom. See, that still doesn't work. The problem being that the block or the piece has to be attached to the bottom of that spring. So the thing you're going to have to do here, let me lift this up further, attach this to the bottom of each suspension piece, and then we're going to weld it all together. Now everything should be stuck together, and it should work all as one. Now, something else that I wanted to do on my other vehicles was put like an axle piece just across the whole thing, and I couldn't do that. On the 2.5-ton truck, I had that going across, but it wasn't connected, so when you see the back suspension going up and down, you could see this pipe piece that's actually just separating itself the whole time. But, in theory, you should be able to do this now. Let me go ahead and put these pieces here, and one here, and let's go ahead and connect all of this. There we go. If this works, I'm going to be a happy camper, and I don't see why it's not going to work. This is one thing that I've waited to do for a long time, so let's go ahead and take it off the lift, and oops, we're in the ceiling. Alright, let's try this again. Look at that. It works. It's all connected. I'm going to go ahead and do this to the front. Actually, I need to make this back one wider. That looks a little skinny. Alright, we're going to do the front here. Now, I'm going to do the same thing, except for the whole fact that I'm going to have a way for the wheels to turn. So, what I figured out that I'm going to do here, let me go ahead and grab this suspension piece again. I need to make sure I've got everything. I think that's it. We're going to put the suspension pieces down, and I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did to the back. And I'm going to put the front axle on, and it's going to connect across, but I'm going to change one thing, and it's going to be here at the bottom. Let me go ahead and Let me see, do I need to put a block here? Yeah. I had to remember, like, how I'm going to do this. I think the best way to do this is going to be having another pipe piece come out where it will turn. Now, this front suspension is not quite as wide as the back. It's one block skinnier. Reason being, I need, say, this piece here, and we're going to need a... Does it look good? Yeah, it does. I'm going to do it over here and aim it down, and I need to get a pipe piece. This is going to go all the way across like the back, and the bearings here, and we're going to aim another pipe piece out, and let's see, that looks good. Put a bearing there, a wheel there, a bearing here, and a wheel here. See, it's just as wide. Everything should be good here. Like, I would like to put like either something across or some other suspension pieces, but I think for the purpose of this video and just to test this out, this isn't supposed to be like some magnificent, awesome looking build. It's really just to prove that this works now. This is something that's bugged me. I mean, it's just drove me crazy about this game, not being able to do something like this and having to have like every suspension piece be independent. Like, I want the front wheels to work together and I want the rear wheels to work together. I want to have that option. So let me go ahead and paint all this up, and I think if we can just have that work, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut this thing in half and put it back together. If I can do those two things together, I will be highly satisfied with this tool. Alright folks, the boring crap is out of the way. It's time to test drive this and make sure everything works. I'm really excited about this. One thing that bugged me so bad was in that 2.5 ton video. Like, that vehicle, it looked so cool, and the whole fact that the back would do what it did, it would like separate itself. It was one of those things that bugs me. It still bugs me today seeing that video, but I feel like this is all going to work. Now, I'm not saying that having 4 independent suspension pieces and having them not be connected across is a bad thing. That will work for a lot of vehicles, but just this is something I wanted to see for a long time in scrap mechanics. So, ooh, that looks like something we could run over. Let's go ahead and hit this cornfield here. Look at that. Look at that. That's glorious. You can see them all working together. That's great. I've waited so long to see that. That's awesome. Yeah, that's just like, and this might not be a big deal to a lot of people, but this is definitely a big deal to me. Just seeing this work, just knowing the possibilities are going to open up with this weld tool. You're going to see probably a lot of just really unique designs. And the whole fact that this is going to save us a lot of time. Anytime that you're building this, it's never fun losing chunks or parts off of it and not being able to put them back on. So I feel like this is going to just be awesome for the game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what tools they come up with next. Because to be honest with you, I think tool-wise, I can't really think of too many more tools that I want. But yeah, I'm going to drive this around a little bit. It's going to be a shame because I'm going to cut this in half here in a minute, and hopefully I can put it back together. That's the one thing I'm kind of concerned with. Like, I don't know how things are going to line back up. Say when you split it in half, when you pick up one half, is it going to just connect the way it split, or is it going to try to put it on a different way? So definitely looking forward to trying that. I'm going to go ahead and drive back to the garage, and we're going to do that. Alright, it's time to cut this thing in half. Now, I feel like the developers have done this plenty, and I think this is all going to work out. You never know, though. It's a new tool. It might be glitchy. It might be buggy. But, yeah, we're going to cut it right about here. Now, if I don't put the block back, I'm going to lose one in the process of sticking it back together, since we're deleting this block. But I could always just add one, but I think we're just going to stick it back together. I'm not really worried about it. It's not like a really important vehicle, and that bugs me. That one fender piece, there's a slanted block that it should be all the way out for the wheel well, but it's actually one in. I'm pretty sure somebody's already seen that and pointed that out. And that's not how that goes back together. Oh, duh. Okay, I figured out what I'm doing wrong here. Let me go ahead and stick this up on a lift. Grab it, stick it over here. It's going to be easier to do this by the front part, so when you pull this welding tool out, you've got this little blue block. Let me show you. See it? That's where you're picking it up by. So you need to pick it up where you intend on connecting it. So say right here. Actually, that's not high enough. No, we're one down. Maybe I have one more. There we go. We gotta get to the very bottom here, so right there. And carry it over here. There we go. Oh yeah, that works. That's great. Alright, now I know I can go on and do some of these really cool builds without having to like back it up constantly, you know, when I'm gonna do a new big piece, so that's cool. I'm glad that works. I'm glad this whole tool works. I'm just happy that this came out, and I look forward to whatever they release next. I'm really excited for the future of this game. Now that it seems like we've gotten most of the tools out of the way, I'm thinking survival is going to be a thing maybe soon. When I say soon, probably won't be for another couple months, but I really look forward to that, and I look forward to what they do in the future. But anyways, it's getting late here, so I'm going to wrap this episode up. Thank you guys for watching and supporting my channel. You guys are amazing. Now, tomorrow I'm not really sure what's going to happen with it being Memorial Day. I'm going to be really busy with family and all that, so there may or may not be a video, and if there is, it's probably going to be a random game. I'm not sure what I want to play. I've got a couple things lined up. But yeah, we'll start some more Scrap Mechanic next week. Either we're going to start with the new world or a collaboration or something. I'm not 100% sure, but anyways, we will see you guys next time.